welcome, retro gaming fans and gamers alike. My name is Matt, and this is part 2 of the November pickups for the Nintendo systems that I own. But first things first, let's go to the intro. Alright, welcome everybody to the channel. I'd like to thank all the new subscribers who have subscribed. I appreciate that very much. But today we are going to be talking about the Super Nintendo Entertainment System and the games I picked up for that in the month of November. Now, first things first, just like the NES one, let's talk about the peripheral I got. I only got one. But it is the 8-bit Do Super Nintendo wireless controller. This thing, just like the Nintendo one, is awesome as hell. It works great. The buttons, I actually want to go to the D-pad. The D-pad is very responsive. This thing works beautifully. If you are looking to get new controllers for your Nintendo, if you have a Nintendo still, I do recommend these. I think you can also get these to work on the Switch. So you can use them on the Switch games, which you need the USB adapter instead. But well worth the money. Alright, that was the only peripheral I picked up. Just that one. Now let's go over game-wise. There were a few games I did pick up for the Super Nintendo. And the first one I'm going to show on the list here is one that I own on the Genesis. Own all of them on the Genesis of the series. And when I saw this at Respawn Retro Gaming, which is where all these games came from this time, this was one I just had to grab because I'm going to try getting all these games on the Super Nintendo too. But it was, that's right, I got a light up there now, got to watch out for that. It is John Madden Football. The first John Madden Football, I think, was a great football game. It's a lot of fun. And I had to pick it up. They had it over at Respawn, and I had to grab this one. So, gameplay footage that you're watching right now, it's nothing like what you see in today's games. These are pixelated graphics, 16-bit. Team cities are there. You don't have it like the Cincinnati. I don't think it's the Cincinnati Bengals. It's been a while since I actually played it, since I recorded this video. But I do know that it has the cities, so you get the cities in that. No team, there was no NFL license. I don't think there was in this one. There shouldn't be. See what I mean? It's been so long since I played it. But there are no NFL licensed teams in here. You get some of the city names. You don't even get all the NFL teams. You can go straight to playoff. You can do exhibition. The game, when I first started playing it with my friends, we used to run circles around each other once you figured out how to do things. But the game itself, it's a classic. It's fun. You got to have it type idea. At least in my opinion, you got to have it. All right, the next game in the list. Now, this is a game that I was after. I have it on my Evercade, but I wanted the actual Nintendo one instead. And that is Top Gear. I love playing this and Top Gear 2 on my Evercade. I wanted the actual one on the Nintendo. Now, keep in mind when you are watching these videos of the games here, I am playing them on the retro TV that you can see behind me when I'm not showing gameplay footage. There's a retro TV behind me. That is the TV I play these on, and then I backfeed it through what's supposed to be an upscaler over to my computer for the capture. So on the screen in front of you, you're not going to see the best looking of graphics, not compared to what my CRT TV has. But still, this game is beautiful. I do believe this game is, let me just double check something here once. Okay, so this game I do believe is, I don't know if you want to call it a love letter to it or what here, but there is a game on that you can get on the PC, the Xbox. I'm positive it's on the PlayStation. You can get it on the Switch, called Horizon Chase Turbo. There's 2 versions of that game, and you'll notice that the Horizon Chase game has a great similarity to that game. So that is definitely something to check out. If you never played it, check that game out. If you like the Top Gear games, you'll probably love Horizon Chase Turbo. All right, 2 games to go. Next game, if you own a Super Nintendo, you have to have these games on there. I have a Japanese version of it. I wouldn't call it the first one of the game. It is number 2. But then I picked up Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Also, Street Fighter series, you have to have the Street Fighter games. Either on Nintendo or on Genesis, you have to have these revolutionized fighting games. So a lot of people say that the sound and graphics and all that are better on the Super Nintendo version. I have not done a comparison or anything yet. A fighting stick on here would be great. Granted, I know that Nintendo had enough buttons compared to the Genesis, because the Genesis had to make a 6-button controller. But the placement of the buttons, the 2 shoulder buttons, to me are annoying to use for a punch and a kick. Same thing goes with when they're on the Xbox. A fighting stick would be better having all the buttons in front of you. That's one reason why I like the Genesis controller better. But, alright, Street Fighter 2. There's not much I can say about that game. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Not much I can say about that game. It's a classic. I think everybody in the world, even if you were born well after this game was made, you know about the game. Alright, so the last game that I got from Respawn. When I did a trade-in for a game, figured Tony up at Respawn could do better with the game than I could, especially since of the cost. I don't understand the 5-screw thing all that well because it doesn't make much sense to me, but whatever. I had to get one more game to even out the trade type idea. At least I think that was the game I traded in. Might have been something different. I don't trade in much. I only traded in stuff that I have duplicates of. So it might have been when I did the trade-in for the extra Nintendo Wii games I have. It was one or two. It was either the Wii games or it was Alpha Mission. I don't remember which one. But this game that I grabbed, I won it for basically a comparison. I actually like this game, this fighting game. It's another fighting game. I have it on the Genesis, and I want to see if the Nintendo version was better, the Super Nintendo. And that is The Art of Fighting. Now, when it comes to the Genesis version, I beat the game already. I did like dog crap in the gameplay footage you're watching right now. I couldn't get very far. But I am going to give Nintendo credit over the Genesis one. This one has the scaling out when you jump backwards from the fighters. Genesis version, from what I remember, does not have that. So Nintendo gets it for that, right dead in there. I mean, it's definitely closer to the Neo Geo counterpart. But then again, too, graphics are still great. They're even great on the Genesis. I think the Nintendo on that one is definitely a little bit better. But that's the joys of having, you know, all the systems right now that I have. I can actually go and compare stuff for myself. But all right, other than that, those were my pickups for the month. Only 4 for the Super Nintendo. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of a video. The next one will be the Nintendo 64. Stay tuned for that one, because that will be part 3. And we'll see you in part 3 of this series.